We are going to begin with that major breaking news. Major computer issues have Delta, United, and American Airlines issuing a global ground stop on all flights. Thank you for joining us. I'm Raul Martinez.
I'm Melody Mendez in for Latoya this morning. Look, this comes after a significant outage. And when we say significant, we mean everywhere from Asia to Australia to across the United States. So let's get right to NBC 10's Minash Kongwari, who's live for us at Logan Airport with what we know this morning. The local impact, Minash, cannot be understated.
Well, it's very unfortunate for passengers. When we initially got here at 4, we were told these ground stops would last until 6, but just minutes ago, someone coming over the intercom saying these ground stops are actually going to be lasting until 8. We're hearing a third-party software outage is impacting computer systems at the following airlines. Go ahead and take a look at your screen. These being American Airlines, Delta Airlines, United Airlines, Allegiant Air. In a statement just into the newsroom, the FAA writing they are closely monitoring a technical issue impacting IT systems at U.S. airlines. Several airlines have requested FAA assistance with ground stops for their fleets until this issue is resolved. Meanwhile, take a look at the scenes here at Logan. We're standing right in front of Delta, and you can see many people just standing around. That's because they're hesitant to go past TSA. They don't want to be stuck in the terminal waiting just in case these ground stops get extended. You can see even a long line. This is at the check-in computers. That's because I'm hearing some people are having trouble checking in as a result of this issue. Many of these passengers shocked to hear what's happening. Here's what one had to say.
That's news because we didn't get any emails this morning, so I'm surprised to hear that.
I mean, have you seen a scene like this just at the check-in counter?
Yeah, when we were in Europe last year and they brought the entire British air system to a stop, we saw the same kind of chaos.
So you've seen something sort of similar to that?
Yeah, I knew something was going on when there's this many people here this early in the morning.
Well, take a look at the big board here. You can see when we first got here, all of that said on time. You can see a lot of them starting to get orange. That means delayed. Some of them even canceled. It's yet to be reflected if all of these are going to be reflected on there. But we're being told this is not a security incident or a cyber attack. This is an isolated issue that has been figured out. And currently right now they're deploying resolutions. When they do, we, of course, will be keeping you updated. But for right now, we're live here at Logan. Minash Kongwari, NBC 10 Boston.
Minash, thank you. Look, we just heard about the impact on airlines, right? But this is impacting just about every computer system.
Yeah, things you just don't want to hear, that it's impacting hospitals. NBC 10's Alicia Palumbo live outside Mass General in Boston with much more. Alicia.
Well, good morning, Raul. One of the things hospitals like MGH and Brigham rely on is called Epic. It's a cloud-based electronic health record system. So if you have MyChart, that's essentially one part of that. That's how doctors and nurses access your medical records, your medical history. So as of right now, we are told they don't have that at your fingertips. So obviously that makes their job that much more complicated. But that's just one of the ways this IT outage is affecting the healthcare system.
Hospitals across the globe are impacted by this outage because they rely so heavily on computers and technology in today's world. At Mass General Brigham, a former employee tells us they rely on Microsoft Teams for vital hospital operations and constant communication within the hospital, like scheduling, meetings, and internal messaging. Artificial intelligence has also been woven into several facets of many hospitals' day-to-day operations, including as a so-called co-pilot for departments like radiology, clinical documentation, patient communication, and even to make certain diagnoses. While there are backups built into the system, you've got to imagine an outage like this will slow down hospital operations dramatically. We've already seen hospitals in other cities preemptively canceling elective surgeries and postponing any appointments that are not urgent to try to lessen the strain on the system while this outage is hopefully resolved.
Now, it does seem like some of those Epic systems are coming back online, so that should help. But of course, there will likely be a backup throughout the day. So if you have an appointment at a hospital or a healthcare provider today, you'll definitely want to call ahead. We're live at Mass General in Boston. Alicia Palumbo, NBC 10 Boston.
All right, Alicia, thanks so much. Look, the outage having widespread impact across the United States and, as we mentioned, the globe.
Right. NBC 10's Jeff Saperstone in the newsroom with more on what we're learning. So, I mean, just see how widespread this is, Jeff.
Yeah, you guys know know, when we walked in this morning, this is what we saw right here. You can see it's a blue screen with a frowny face right there, and that's what we see on computers across this newsroom and industries around the world. We've learned this massive outage impacted Microsoft services worldwide. The company says the problem has now been fixed, but it is slow to come back. Airlines, as you saw, banks, media, tech companies, health companies, and emergency services all still reporting major issues. This is what we saw again on our screens this morning when we tried to log in. The error messaging appearing on computer systems across the world. We know New Hampshire's 911 system was unable to answer calls. The state then implemented its backup system and now can receive those emergency calls normally. Our international media partners at Sky News actually knocked off the air for a time, too. And we're learning a little bit more about what happened here. Cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike, they just released this statement. They're actively working with customers impacted by a defect found in a single content update for Windows hosts. Mac and Linux customers are not impacted by this. This is not a security incident or cyber attack. So that's important to note there. Again, that CEO from CrowdStrike just issuing that statement within the last half hour or so. CrowdStrike, again, actively working with those customers here. We'll continue to update this story throughout the morning. For now, we're live in the newsroom. Jeff Saperstone, NBC 10 Boston.